Hey, what's up guys? Thought I'd start this video off by just steady flexing on all these OS niggas. With the release of OS Mobile, I actually popped on, made an account, got to like 75 magic in like 5 days just by alking. I don't see why people keep hating on RS3. Plus, look at this, like Jesus. This video is on botting. I just thought, I think we all have seen the people running around talking smack, and RS3 community is tight. Barnes & Noble, get out my face. Alright, so what I'm talking about is I have got my account back, sort of. My previous account was banned, as I said in my previous video, but I got this account back up to some decent stats. Mage, smithing, 99, combat stats, decent. Double XP just happened. I got 97. My calculations were off for 99, but I'm gonna get it again next double XP. Working on prayer, all that stuff, so I can start doing higher level bots. And the ones that I find myself making the most are smithing bots and alching bots, which is why I have 99 in both of those first. I make my money through crafting rune bars and then rune 2H's and then alching them. It's honestly, I think it's the most AFK method to get to a 120. So if you're trying to get to a 120 cape, I would definitely recommend doing these methods. So I'm going to talk about the safest way to alch right now, because you'll see them in banks and everywhere. Just a guy, you'll see him, you'll leave, you'll go do a Slayer task, you'll come back, he'll still be alching. You'll log off, go eat, go to class, you'll come back, he'll still be alching. And he's obviously a bot. And then, maybe a week later he's not there, something like that. A lot of these guys get banned. A lot of these guys get passed a bunch of cash from a main account, and then are just an alching alternative account, because it's relatively easy to get 55 magic. So here is the best way to alch for botting on Mac. I got my Murgoth software peeking out there. I've got this little space in the top left. That's if you're just trying to watch like something, you could keep that open if you're using your computer. If not, then it doesn't matter. So I have high alch on my #1 key bar. So you're alching. I've got a lot of stuff to alch, but which way is the best for you? Can't just do 10 or 20 of these and call it a day. Stop your program and have it run. It's just not safe. So what I've found is to play a little song in your head, or keep a little metronome going, or just sort of tap your foot or anything. You're going to try and match. You're going to try and get the same keystrokes every single time. So I'm going to start recording. I'm going to hit 1, tap, 1, tap, 1, tap. We're getting slower just to match, because you're not trying to do, you can only cast the spell in the period while the previous alch is being cast. So we're going to go like this. Once you get a little rhythm down, you're going to feel it. Now this is standard. This is like you're constantly hitting the same key. You're tapping in the exact same square, and no bot is going to, or no bot detection software is going to pick you up as anything other than this. If you're a human and you're doing this, you might have a little bit more deviation, but what a bot detection software picks up is absolute consistency. You have to have these same keystrokes with the same time intervals, or else, it's not going to pick you up. So I'm going to stop it right there. That wasn't quite as many as I would do if I wasn't recording, but I'm going to start it, and it's going to run through what I just did. So we're saying perhaps there's a second, 1 second, maybe 20 milliseconds between each cast. That number is going to change slightly. You know that each tick is, I think, 0.6 milliseconds, or no, 0.6 seconds. So you're going to get it in the same tick, more likely. You're going to get it in the same tick. Every keystroke is going to be in the same tick, and it's going to be extremely hard, well, with minor deviations. So you're probably going to have like half of them inside and outside, with maybe 1 tick more for half of your casts and 1 tick less for the other half, simply because you're human, and although you were trying your darndest to get them exactly the same, there's going to be a tick interval, and that single tick deviation that's going to happen between each of these casts is going to protect you, because there is no way someone looking at these keystrokes can pin you as a bot. Now you might say, oh, well, the botting software is specifically designed for pinning the exact same thing. Why are we trying to make it look as if we are as consistent as a bot? Simply because most people, when they make bots, they don't try and get it the exact same. They think that, oh, I can, I want to space it out. I want to look like a human, so I'm going to make these times all different, and these casts are going to look random. But the thing is, when you replay your program, that what you thought was random now becomes a very consistent pattern, and it becomes very easy for bot detection software to pick it up. Whereas with this program, if you try to make it extremely consistent, there's no longer a pattern. It simply looks as if you're paying very close attention and you're casting within at least 1 or 2 ticks of your last cast every single time. So I'm going to stop this. That's the best way for alking. Suppose you wanted to train agility, because that's where I am right now, on the last step of the Heffen agility course. What you could do is a lot of people in OS train agility while alking, because the ticks can stack and all that. If you want to, you could alk. It has the same sort of mechanics. The only problem with creating a program for this is exactly that. It's not random. You're going to have overlap that is pretty easily, more easily detectable than if you were just alking by yourself. But if you were to create this program of agility and alking, and you were to only let it run for 2 hours, and then you were to make a new one for 2 hours, then there's no way that they would pick you up. It's basically, if you're being attentive, then it doesn't matter what program you make. If you only run it for 2 or 3 hours, then you're going to be fine. It's those people, dumbasses, that run the same program for years. That's when you start messing up. So that's it for this one. I'll probably make another one on a harder